Varsity basketball on NKTelco Sports. We're at Minster Gymnasium where the Wapakoneta Redskins will take on the Minster Wildcats. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, Pratt Industries, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Borchers Forest Center, and NKTelco. Along with Jeff Henshin, I'm Dave Kanapke. Minster will take on Wapakoneta in our season opener here on NKTelco Sports. Season opener for both teams. Jeff, let's look first at the Wapakoneta Redskins. They won 10-14 last year under Rusty Allen, who decided to retire at the end of a very good 14-year run, 196 wins. And he was replaced by Marcy Alberts, who has a very extensive resume.
Yeah, it is. It starts when she went to Ohio State from 93 to 97 as a player, did some coaching, played in the NBA, the Cleveland Rockers, and the WNBA, and had some coaching stints at Heidelberg, I know, along the way, a Rooster coach as well, but a number of years at Otterville as well, won 7 or won a few district titles there, so she has brings a lot to the table. And speaking of the table, she's going to come to the table, but the cupboard is bare. They graduated a bunch of scoring and a lot of experience, bring back limited varsity action for this year's squad.
The opposite side for Minster, under Coach Mike West, the cupboard is pretty full as he returns 4 starters.
But you lose the big ingredient, if you will, Nella Mesher, our league player, leading scorer. She's at Findlay University now. But the other 4 players made up 80% of the scoring. Katie McClurg, one of those players, also Casey Albers and Lily Barhorse and Morgan Sparks were 95% of the scoring with those starting 5. Got limited points off the bench. So 4 starters are back. They're going to look for some other support players to play JV and also some varsity to step up the scoring and help, if you will, that Minster offense. The defense will be there.
So it'll be Minster against Walpock in the season opener. We'll pause now for the national anthem and return with the starting lineups on NKTelco Sports.
I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Welcome back here for the opener here between Minster and Walpock. Minster won the game last year 35-29. Minster's won the last 5 meetings with Walpock. Walpock last one in 2016, but stat might be a little misleading. A lot of close games through that. Minster prevailed through a pretty good run of Minster teams, a couple of state champions in that. Now this starting lineup is brought to you by Emerson Climate Technologies. First for the Redskins, number 2, Elizabeth Good.
Another guard position, a 5'6" sophomore,
Number 5, Riley Zelikowski, a sophomore. Kiera Seifring, number 15, a junior. Number 33, senior Reagan Corder. Number 45, junior Madison Springer. Redskins are coached by Marcy Alberts in her first year. Now they will introduce the Wildcats. They will turn down the lights, set the music with the mood. Get the spotlights out. Done this for the boys the last few years. I think it's the first time they've done it for the girls. Starting off the Wildcats, Katie McClure, 5'4" senior, second team All-MAC last year. Another guard, number 13, Morgan Sparks, 5'7" senior. The wing position, number 10, Casey Albers, 5'10" senior. Their biggest three-point threat. One of the forward positions, number 14, 5'11" junior, Lily Barhorst. And the other forward position, number 32, 5'9" sophomore, Addie Inskeep. Head coach for the Wildcats, Mike Wiss, in his 7th year at the helm of the Wildcats. So it'll be Minster against Wapakoneta in this season opener. We got some time. Let's talk about our keys to the game. Brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Let's start with the Redskins.
Well, first for the visiting Redskins, they want to limit the paint points that the Wildcats get in tonight's ball game. They also know it's important to win the rebounding battle against the Cats and finish on offense. They feel like they can move the ball pretty well, but you got to be able to put the ball in the bucket at the end or it goes for naught. Those are the keys of the game for the Redskins. And for Minster, Coach Wiss wants to make sure his troop handles the first game jitters, a home matchup here, a lot of energy, but handle the first game jitters without a lot of turnovers. Pressure the ball to get Wapak uncomfortable. We saw in the JV game what pressure did to the Wapak offense, and it's not fun when they're in your face. It forces a lot of turnovers, make the offense for the Redskins very uncomfortable, and also transition game. You got to be both offensively and defense. You want to get out and go offensively, but likewise, you can't walk on defense and let the Redskins get into high-paced, easy offense opportunities. Thank you to Keyhole Pizza for our keys to the game.
Jump ball. It looks like they will tip it off again.
One of the rare times you'll see a duplicate jump ball without overtime.
Yeah, jump ball off a jump ball is Albers.
And Dave, we are all accustomed to jump balls. That's how we did it. I think that changed when I was in high school. I think they went to alternating possession.
They had peach baskets back when I played. Yeah. So is that when it changed? It was back in the early 90s?
Late 80s, okay. Late 80s. And then the three-point line came in about late 80s, maybe 88 or 89.
I think it was 88 it came.
I think it was 89. 88-89 season.
Pass underneath the Lily Barhorse. She is fouled. Barhorse will go line to shoot 2. Barhorse played a lot as a sophomore last year. Strong inside presence for the Wildcats. She draws a foul on Madison Springer. Nothing but nylon there. The 5'11" junior, Lily Barhorst. The running mate last year is Ella Mesher, who's now playing at Findlay. She was the leading scorer, about 11 points a game. Other than that, the Minster has 4 starters back. Now Wapak on the attack. Quarter, who jumped off, is bringing the ball up, and she throws it away. Good pressure there by Morgan Sparks.
Well, that's exactly what Coach Wiss talked about, putting pressure on the ball. Nothing was easy there, and you make things different. You can't simulate this type of defense, it seems like, in practice. And Minster comes out here and forces a very difficult possession and an opening possession turnover for the Redskins.
Morgan Sparks, senior, gives it up to fellow senior McClure. They go again to Barhorse. Kicks it out to Albers. 3-ball. Too strong. Barhorse able to save it, but it goes to Wapak.
Nice effort by Barhorse, hustling out of bounds, but her save went right into Walpock's hands. And okay to do that blindly on this end. You don't want to do it when you're the defense on the other end and throw it right back to the offense into their bucket. But Barhorse able to get away with it, although didn't come up with a loose ball rebound.
Hand-to-man defense being played as Addie Inskeep drawing the assignment of Reagan Corder. Looks to be the point guard on this Walpock team. There's a steal by Casey Albers, and there'll be a quick double dribble on the exchange. Albers wasn't so sure about that one as the turnover will give it to Walpock. Marcy Albertson, her first year. What a resume. She's a member of the Buckeyes, Ohio State Buckeyes, played at the WNBA, the Cleveland Rockers, who now defunct Cleveland Rockers. Then coached at Orville High School, had a very good record there.
Number of district titles there, which means she got to regionals.
Yeah, she had 3 district titles there, and then she went to Heidelberg College.
The Student Prince.
The Student Princesses. That shot is off the mark, and then last few years she's been at IPFW, Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne. Minster pushes up the tempo as Sparks draws the foul. You're watching Minster girls basketball. It's pressure. It's transition basketball. It's been that way since Coach Nan Steckschulte took over in 1989. So they will inbound it all the way to top to Sparks.
That Walpock foul went against Reagan Corder.
Nice defense there by number 2 there, Elizabeth Good as she swatted away Sparks' shot. Ball out of bounds of the Walpock basketball. They'll this time give it to Good. Also a pretty tall guard working against McClurg.
Here comes a double team, so someone's open, and as a teammate, you got to recognize when your girl leaves, you got to help your friend. Walpock dodges the ball, gets back into, let's say, quarter court offense, but nearly threw the ball away.
Quarter trying to find an opening. That's tipped away by Inskeep. Hustles, nice steal, able to get the ball back. Not able to get the layup, followed by Albers. Casey is fouled, and she will shoot 2.
Again, taking advantage of the opportunity, the transition game right there. You saw the errant pass and a steal at half court, and Inskeep missed the layup, but a hustle defense there. Offensive rebound, and Albers gets fouled in the act.
And now on the first one, Albers, the second leading scorer last year for the Wildcats behind Mesher. Albers scored 8.6, led the team in 3 balls. Pretty balanced offense, but she misses 2 there on the foul shot, so.
Walpock's foul, I don't know if you said it, was Kira Seifring, her first third of the quarter already for the Wildcats and for the Redskins. Another turnover.
Tipped away by Inskeep. Sparks with the steal. McClurg trying to find an opening to Barhorst. 5 minutes to go. Played 3 minutes, only 1 point. And there's a steal. Zalakowski drives to the basket and draws the blocking foul against Darcy Albers. Not Darcy Albers, Casey Albers.
Nice move by Zalakowski. Again, has the opportunity. You're the offensive girl. Unless a defender is planted in front of you, go at the basket, basically force the referee to call the block foul, which is what it was and which is what they got. Foul goes against Minster's number 14, Lily. I'm sorry, not Barhorst, but number 10, you mentioned Casey Albers.
Zalakowski, a lot of letters in that name for the sophomore.
Just don't look at the S and say the rest of the last name.
It starts with an S-Z. Just the S is silent, but Zalakowski without the S
makes both free throws.
Makes both of it. The most important thing.
Walpock's 2 for 2 from the line, whereas Minster 1 of 4 from the charity stripe here early, nearly halfway through the first quarter.
Sparks to Inskeep.
Nice.
She took 1 too many there.
It was going to be a nice move. She had the right idea, had a little bit of a hop, Euro hop, but then that extra step, and it's hard to officiate, but when it looks weird, it is weird.
Yep.
Once you understand the Euro, which is legal, there should have good straight-up wall-up defense, basically, there is what it's ruled as Inskeep. You're allowed to leave your feet, and from this angle, I think it's a great call. There was contact, yes. Inskeep, though, just jumped straight up. The offense went into her, and it's either a charge, basically, or you play on.
Number 22, Anna Larger, into the game. 5'7" junior. She was a very good defensive specialist, a sophomore. Had injuries at the end of the season, but in the middle of the season, she played some great defense for Coach Wiss. There's a rebound. There's a shot off the mark by Wapakoneta.
Good. Yeah, Elizabeth Good. A nice move in the paint there. A little turnaround, not hook shot, but it was in the right direction. She's right-handed, but it did not drop.
Minster looking to get their first field goal. Sparks, tough shot. Larger comes up with a rebound. Anna Larger will reset it. McClurg. Ball horse is fouled from behind by Springer, her second foul. And quickly off the bench will be Hannah Prine. To replace Springer.
Prine, a 5'11" senior, a little bit more verticality there. Springer 5'8", so they get a few more inches with Springer, but Springer sits down with 2 personal fouls.
Catch and shoot by McClurg. And she ties up. That shot was by McClurg. She quickly ties up. Ball in her possession, gives to Walpock.
3-pointer from McClurg on the catch.
A little short of the three. 2-pointer. There's quarter. Walpock has some pretty good ball handlers. Pretty tall ball handlers, seen her, and good. That's knocked out of bounds.
We have a great view, Dave, sitting up here. We're up high, and you can see Minster, once it gets near half court, one girl simply leaves her man, or girl in this case, to come double team. And from our angle, it's like stop and pass. But when you're down on the floor, it's harder to recognize, harder to see that stuff. But Minster forces you to make the longer pass and let their secondary defenders basically intercept it as a football player would.
Coach Alberts calls the timeout. There's a triple team there as she calls timeout to bail out her player. That gives us an opportunity to thank our sponsors for bringing this game on NKTelco Sports. Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, Pratt Industries, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Borchers Forest Center, and NKTelco, our main sponsors here tonight. And so far, Jeff, this has been a very low scoring. We're more than halfway through this first quarter, 3:50 to go, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, no field goals yet, just free throws. And Wapak has committed 4 turnovers. Minster's committed 3, so we played just over 4 minutes, and already 4 turnovers for the Redskins, 3 for the Wildcats. Pressure defense by the Wildcats. It's been Minster's had the ball more time of possession wise, but their pressure defense has really limited Wapak's ability to get many shots off. Just 2 attempts so far, and another turnover, that long pass. Good job by the Minster secondary to step right in the passing lane.
Time of possession in secondary, using some football terms, but that's right. Let's see if Minster can capitalize on that time of possession. As Wapak playing some good man-to-man defense as well. Nice drive by McClurg, rattles out. Katie able to get her own rebound.
3rd offensive rebound of the first quarter for the Minster Wildcats.
Larger to the hole. Lost her footing. Came up with a steal, but I think also a foul.
So she turned it over, kind of maybe it was some contact.
Foul was on McClurg. I said that wrong. I thought it would be on Larger, but it was on Katie McClurg, who was in the double team. Into the game is number 30, Kennedy Cordy, 5'10" senior. And also Casey Albers comes back in the game. 14 players dressed for Minster, so Coach Wiss has a lot of players at his disposal.
And if you're going to play 84 feet up and down, full defense, you're going to need some rest once in a while. And if those players know their role and their spot, they can help that defense be even strong the full length of the court.
In some trouble there.
Foul.
Seafring. She's bailed out with a foul.
32 or 22? Larger or Larger?
Larger. So Reagan Corder, senior on this team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors. Leamsky comes up with the board.
Good, had another shot in the paint down there for the Redskins, but it was challenged. Couldn't get a quality shot off. Good defense by the Cats and a good defensive rebound for Minster.
Larger, trying to drive baseline, dribbles it out of bounds, and the offense still struggling for the Wildcats.
Each team continues to turn the ball over. I've got them down unofficially now for 5 turnovers each.
Minster last year averaged 42 points, not a real high-scoring offense in there, but the defense is there with another turnover. Quick pass to Larger, steps back a little and banks it home.
Kind of got caught in a bad spot, but had the whereabouts, if you will, to maintain the pivot foot, but get some spacing or, move legally to get a good angle off the glass.
Quarter to the hoop, had a lane. Albers with the rebound.
That bucket by Anna Larger did the first field goal for either team here in the first quarter.
McClurg open for the tray. Katie McClurg.
Well, 3 for 3, if you will. Number 3 with a 3, and back-to-back field goals for the Wildcats.
Good, trying to get out of a double team. In some trouble. Tries to pass to the teammate, but it goes out of bounds.
Tough spot. She's double teamed, and unless you jump and literally put it above your head and jump and throw it down the court, it was tough. She had no passing angles. Her teammates have to almost give her more of an avenue to throw the ball to. You can't stand and expect her to throw a pass around the corner. It just doesn't work. So give Minster's defense, that full court pressure defense. Key to the game right there. Pressure the ball to get Wapak uncomfortable, word for word. And that's been exactly what we've seen here in the first 7 minutes.
Inskeep. Barhorse back to Inskeep. Kicks it out. Right to Sparks, not able to hit the 3. Able to get the rebound, though. They'll get another opportunity.
Minster's been very good on the offensive end, offensive rebounds, 4 already here in a quarter.
Albers thought about a 3, gives it the Sparks. Now underneath Barhorse, turnaround. Too strong, able to follow, and is fouled.
Well, they continue to get the offensive boards. They need to make these free throws to capitalize, or it all is a meaningless stat. So, Coach Alberts, for her keys of game, win the board battle. Right now, on the defensive end, Wapak not doing a very good job of keeping the Cats off the glass, and Barhorse makes good on her 3rd free throw of the first quarter. She's now 2 for 3 from the line.
And a larger returns for the Wildcats as they now head out to a 7-2 lead. Barhorse makes it 8-2 with just under a minute to go. Again, the full court pressure. Quarter having trouble, and that's a 5-second count.
Well, if you're going to panic, I've always said it's better to do that than panic and throw it right into the basket. Yep. Now you can bring your defense back and at least play 5-on-5.
Yep.
You don't want to throw it away, but you also don't want to panic and just throw one away where it's 1-on-nobody for the Wildcats.
Inbound to Cordy. Kennedy follows for the basket. Kennedy Cordy.
Offensive
underneath. Nice play. 10-2. Minster has come alive offensively in the last couple minutes. Quarter having some trouble going horizontal, not vertical. Barhorse with the steal and rattles it home. 12-2 on a flurry of defense as Albers will be called on the foul. That'll be Albers' second foul.
It took a Minster a while to put the field goal in, but since that time they've been probably scored on 4 of their past 6 possessions from the field, and one of those was a 3-pointer. So they've really opened up. Well, what is that? 11 points. They had 1 forever. So there's a foul. That might be the 3rd.
That's the 3rd on Albers. There is a little too aggressive there. Her 3rd foul. She'll probably be done for the half. Coming in the game is number 23, Lindy Hemmelgarn, 5'5" senior. There's 6 seniors on this team, and Coach Twist couldn't get her out in time, and Albers is on the bench with 3. There's a quick 5-second count.
The last time I said it's better to panic than to just give it up with no defense. Well, last time Minster scored right away on the offensive inbounds play, so it didn't help as much. But, you got to help your teammate out and set picks or move and then lead them with a pass where the enemy's not and try to get in. But to back-to-back 5-second violations for the Redskins. Good defense by the Wildcats.
Under 20 seconds is thrown away but kicked out of bounds for Wapak, so break for Minster.
Yeah, break is right. As right now the Redskins struggling, but there's a turnover waiting to happen. They mishandle it and end up kicking it out of bounds. So Minster dodges the turnover, gets the ball back with 17 seconds to play first quarter.
Hamilgarn will inbound it to Larger. It's knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Wildcats. With 13 seconds exactly, plenty of time to run through a half-court set here. Sparks running the offense here. Trying to get everybody. Cordy sets the screen. Sparks to the hoop. Barhorse with a follow. That one in the first quarter of play. A flurry of points for the Wildcats late in the first quarter as they take a 14-2 lead into the second quarter. You're watching girls basketball on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Kemmler Orthopedic Center is focused on a personalized, caring approach to treat all aspects of orthopedics, including total joint replacement, shoulder reconstruction, stem cell injections, and more. Dr. James Kemmler and Jed Cooney, certified PA, are dedicated to providing the best orthopedic care in the Grand Lake region. Kemmler Orthopedic Center has offices located in Salina and Van Wert, along with extended evening hours. To schedule an appointment, call our office at 419-586-5760.
Coming back into the second quarter, Minster stretches the lead with a late flurry. They lead 14-2 on our First National Bank scoreboard.
It took Minster a while to go. It was actually Wapak called a timeout with 3:50 to go in the first quarter. So we just basically played halfway, and the score was 2-1 in favor of Wapak. So shortly after that Wapak timeout, Minster scored the first bucket of the field goal, and I believe it was a three-pointer by McClurg.
I think there's a two-pointer, and then she hit a three after that.
It was a two-pointer by Anna Larger.
Yes.
Then the dam broke, the water came over, and Minster went on a 13-0 run to enjoy a 14-2 lead. They did it with creating 10 turnovers against the Redskins, and offensive rebounding began to capitalize on them, put them back up, and capitalize them on offensive buckets. So Minster dominates the second half of the first quarter and has a 12-point lead.
Shot up by Larger. Anna Larger drains the three.
Then we talked about bench points last year. They didn't have a lot of them. Larger coming off the bench tonight already has 5 points. So, that's 14 girls on the roster, and someone's going to, whoever is performing is going to play. And Larger doing a nice job being that sixth man, if you will, getting 5 points.
It's only the fifth shot by Wapak here in the game.
First offensive rebound for them, and you're right, just 4 shots in the first quarter. When you have 10 turnovers, you don't get a lot of opportunities.
Good with a nice move, and it rolls off.
She's had some nice looks, and she's got some skill. Went to the basket nicely there, but has missed all 3 of her shots kind of in the paint area there. They've been contested, but she's been unable to get on track.
McClure draws the foul.
Another free throw coming up with the Cats, 3 of 6. They went to the line 3 times in the first quarter for 2-shot fouls, hit on 50%. We'll go back to the line here for 2 more as the fouls on Zelikowski.
I don't have the stats in front of me, but their free throw shooting was not real good last year. The men lost some of the games
due to that.
16-9. Most people would take that. 16-9 were the worst year in Coach Wiss's 6 years. I think a lot of people would take 16-9 as your worst year.
Yeah, some teams it takes 4 years to win 16 games.
Yeah, and all those other years he won 20 games, 2 state titles in there, also a state appearance in the COVID year.
They got lucky there, Redskins. That's the worst place to stop in the trap zone, and they were able to get out of it, but then they do turn the ball over in the half court.
Larger with the steal, but Good steals it back. Quarter at the elbow, too strong. Follow there by Schroeder. And we'll have a foul underneath there on Minster.
Mentioned the last foul on Wapak was not against Zelikowski. It was against Prine, Hannah Prine, her first foul.
Lindy Hemmelgarn with the foul there on Minster, number 23. They'll go out of bounds. It'll be Wapak. Both teams with 6 fouls already, so we'll be shooting foul shots from here on out.
Yeah, I mentioned Minster's already attempted 4 free throws, so of those 6 Wapak fouls, 4 have been committed with Minster in the act of shooting.
Good point.
And Wapak just the 1 free throw trip for 2 shots. The rest of the Minster fouls have been common fouls or non-shooting fouls.
Minster currently on an 18-0 run. They won 4 minutes with scoring 1 point, and after that they kicked it into high gear. A lot of offense off the defense. Good, almost as the quarter comes up with it. Just not a lot of open lanes.
No, there's one breakdown. Nice pass.
Elizabeth Good cashes in.
Assist from Quarter, and Good is a good ball player, no pun intended, but she moves well. That time she got the benefit of the pass because she kept moving. She went back door, and Quarter hit with a beautiful bounce pass. And it was good to see Good. He's giving her shots a drop.
Hemmelgarn with the 3, too long. Elizabeth Good Jr. with the rebound, and she takes it up against Larger. Larger, very long arms. And it's evident it ended up with a turnover. And there's to the basket, number 24, Kayla Lamb, into the game with a basket.
Instant offense, points off turnovers, and good way for Lamb to get started with I won't say an easy shot, but sometimes those uncontested layups can be difficult with nobody on you, but Lamb able to cash in and capitalize on that turnover her teammate created at the other end.
Elizabeth Good draws the foul as Barhorst and Inskeep.
I think it was a jump ball.
Was it jump? Yeah, they did. You're right, they didn't. Didn't go to the bench to it.
Dan Foley made the call and then politely changes the coin in his pocket to keep track of his own possession. The officials have a coin or something they carry it in their right pocket or left pocket, depending on how
I did not know that.
Yeah, watch them when they do that. But there was a turnover, and Barhorst, right idea, but her teammate had not got there yet. And they'll say it was
stay out of bounds. It will stay with Minster. Because Barhorst was looking for a teammate there that wasn't quite there.
Barhorst not a traditional point guard. Sometimes you get out in the open and get moving and the defense is on you. It's like, I'm not used to doing this.
McClurg in and out. Rebound there, Wapak. Hot pride, but stolen. Barhorst, tough off-balance shot, but follows. And Barhorst, a very athletic post player, will shoot 2 more foul shots.
She's athletic because she can move, which makes it difficult to defend. Have I mentioned moving tonight? It's anyone can defend someone that doesn't move. And then she's athletic. You see on the volleyball court, she hits the ball from all positions and has a lot of confidence in her size and her strength. And again, the athletic ability, sometimes that extra gear, that speed just is hard to stop, and it's frustrating. And if you can't keep up, it seems like she's always in the right place then for the rebound.
Madison Springer returns with 2 fouls. Also, Reagan Quarter has 2 fouls as well.
And Inskeep will pick up her first foul with the foul on the rebound attempt. I'll keep you in mind when there's the next jump ball. We'll pick on Dan Frill, and he's the half-court official right now on the left side.
All these years I've watched basketball, I have not realized they have a coin.
I'm not saying they all do it.
But maybe he does that.
Yeah, it's just to help with the old, at least when there's a discrepancy, whether the scoreboard arrow is pointing this way or the book says that, he can come in and say, I'm pretty sure it's this, and at least throw in his 2 cents.
Springer.
Her first point.
Yep.
Oh, there's a violation. So if it's missed, Wapak will get a try again, and the whistle should come about right now.
You psychic there, as you saw. Minster player step in the lane.
Katie McClurg, when the ball is handed to the shooter, in this case Springer, you can't cross the 3-point line into the lane. And as soon as she did that, because she's on the defense, Dan Furlane, again, your official on the far side, put his hand out horizontally, made a fist, meaning if it goes in, nothing. Hands down, you play on. If it's made, nothing. If it's missed, which this one was, it's a violation. So
another attempt here by Springer.
Can't quite cash in.
And she ends up stealing the ball from Hemmelgarn, but misses the layup. So pass all the way up to Inskeep, too high. Turnover gives it back to Wapak. Wapak was stuck on 2 for a long time. They were able to get some points here. Springer gives it back to Quarter. Quarter playing with 2 fouls. Very good, has been bringing the ball up against his press, which is easier said than done.
Nice bounce pass. Nice pass.
Nice pass underneath to Zelokowski.
Good ball movement. They avoided the double trap, made a nice bounce pass up top. Then you have the advantage because the defense was double teaming, and Zelokowski made a nice cut.
Helmelgarn with the tray. Lindy Helmelgarn as his Minster bench jumps up to applaud the 3. 24-7. They have scored 23 points in about less than 8 minutes stretch here between the end of the first quarter and the beginning of the second.
Yes, again, a timeout with 3:50 to go in the quarter. They had 1 point, so.
Helmelgarn comes up with the steal. Pass ahead to Lamb. Lamb, a 5'10 junior.
Good job there by 33, Reagan Quarter. She played behind the Minster player, but didn't reach through her, used her feet to kind of sidestep and then deflect the pass versus going through the Minster Wildcat and picking up a foul.
Lydia Mesher, number 12, with her first action, as well as Anna Larger just checks in. Also Morgan Sparks. Minster's up to about 9 different players have played so far. JV team from Minster, I believe, only lost 1 game last year, so a lot of talent coming back off that team. Mesher off the bench, rolls off.
I think it stays with the Cats. Another offensive rebound, a team rebound in this case off the missed shot.
24-7 on our First National Bank scoreboard. First National Bank, think first, our longtime scoreboard sponsor at NKTelco Sports. Pass to Barhorse. Turnaround in. Lowly Barhorse leads all scorers with 9.
And that was a good job by her getting the pass in, catching it. Wapak defended it well, but boy, Barhorse used her backside, if you will, created some space, and then able to go after the pass and then go to the bucket and get the shot to drop. But she didn't stand and try to catch the ball. She used her body to make space, pushed in a little bit to get some space, and then rewarded with the basket.
Elizabeth Good, a nice drive to the basket, is fouled
by Lily Barhorst, her first.
Second foul, or 2 foul shots coming here by Elizabeth Good.
Her first attempts of the game.
Nothing but 9 on there. The end of the game will be number 10, Amber Schnippel. Give Quarter a break with 2 fouls. Wapak. Rusty Allen, 14 years, 196 wins, 8 sectionals, 5 district runners-up, a regional title, and in 2009 they lost in the state finals to Hathaway Brown. So Rusty Allen, a very successful 14-year run.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
Kind of coached his daughter through those years as she graduated last year and went on, I think she's playing at Defiance College, and that gives him some time to go watch her games and whatever kids he may have. But anyhow, the last free throw was waved off. It was a lane violation. I believe it was on the shooter. She maybe stepped on the line or one of her teammates stepped in too soon, so that free throw did not count by Good, the last one. She made 1 of 2.
Nice steal there by Good on the cross-court pass. In some trouble. Gives it up underneath her to Springer. Rebound by Inskeep. Larger to Barhorst. Sparks thought about it to Barhorst. A little bit out of control, but she's able to draw the block there, and that's the 3rd foul on Madison Springer.
Yeah, Barhorst kind of got the ball and went right at the basket. Tough call as she kind of created a contact against Springer. And, either way, it probably wasn't blocked, but sometimes you'll see that much straight-on contact, maybe a charge, but ruled a blocking foul for Springer. That's her 3rd, and she will exit. And for Minster, also with 3 fouls, is Casey Albers, number 10, and I don't think she's played since she missed that or got that 3rd foul.
Barhorst is short on the 1-and-1. Tipped around off of 2 Wildcats, and Anna Larger came up with the ball that Ended up going off the backboard, but that's not a shot.
16 turnovers for the Redskins, 10 in the first, 6 in the second.
Minster defense will do that to you. There's a rebuilding Wapak squad. Lost a lot of experience. New coaching staff. Playing against probably one of the better teams in the MAC this year. And that is a nice steal. Kiara Seifring read the pass. Spin move, and Seifring knocks it home.
Well, she scoops and she scores, and a nice spin move step, kind of a step shot or a step through.
Larger 18-footer. Rebound by Seifring. It's a good 2-minute warning here in the first half. Elizabeth Good.
Nice bounce pass.
3-ball shot up by Schnippel. Able to get rebound is Wapak as they'll reset here. Good to the hoop. Draws the foul.
Again, she earned that because she cut up top, went back door. She was moving, changed speeds. Her teammate fed her with a beautiful bounce pass, and then she did the rest, going to the basket, drawing contact, and 2 free throws. Inskeep picks up her second foul.
Wapak's offense has definitely improved of late. They've gotten better looks. As Elizabeth Good with the chance for 2 free throws here as 3 Wildcats at the scoring table as Elizabeth hits the first. McClurg, Cordy, and Lamb in the game for the Wildcats. 26-11. Second shot by Elizabeth Good. Hits them both. Hannah Prine into the game to give Good a break. She leads with 5 points. They lead the Redskins. Full court pressure by the Redskins. Fleur double teamed. Timeout by Coach Wiss. We'll see it's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here on this timeout sponsored by Precision Strip. Some of our special sponsors are Keys to the Game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Emerson Climate Technologies. All our timeouts are sponsored by Precision Strip of Minster. Jeff and I will pick our player of the game by NKTelco. Our Minster Live View sponsor is Borchers Floor Center. Some of our additional sponsors, Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Schruderman Incorporated, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hillspin Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and St. Henry Bank. In this 26-12 game, Minster coming out of the Precision Strip timeout.
Yeah, they've run a lot of bodies in through this system today, and they've, again, been a much more efficient on offense. You mentioned, take away the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, they've scored a lot of points. 26. They only had 1 until about the 3-minute mark of the first quarter, so the defense has been strong, and a lot of players have participated, so they're getting it done on all ends and getting really performance out of all units that Coach Wiss has put out there.
Cordy drains the turnaround shot. Kennedy Cordy.
Points off the bench. That's 4 points now for Cordy for the 5'10 senior. Those are tough shots. That was a mid-range 15-footer. You just don't see that very often, and she hit nothing but net. She's 2 of 3 from the field for 4 points.
Cordy played almost all JV last year, but it's been impressive so far in her time off the bench. Shot is short there. All knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Redskins.
Redskins have 5 offensive rebounds in this quarter. They had none in the first quarter, so they've done a better job. They're at least getting shots. Remember, they only took 4 shots in the first quarter. Had 10 turnovers, really limited their opportunities, but much better here in the second 8 minutes and getting some multiple looks, if you will, and have been able to put some offense on the board. There's a 5-second turnover or a 5-second violation. Yeah. If you're closely guarded and you don't break that 6-foot pressure, if you will, it's a violation. So you have to clear yourself from the defender, get him past your torso to stop the count. And they were unable to do that in the 5-second violation for the 17th Redskin turnover in the first half.
Down to 30 seconds as Sparks running the offense. Gives it up to McClurg. Coach Wiss shouting instructions. special play. Probably wants to run here at the end of the half, or probably just running through the play, regardless of if they're not necessarily playing for one shot. Tipped around, McClurg ends up with it. Passes it to Cordy, who went the other way, so all that for a turnover.
Might want to work on that one. Yeah, it didn't look good. I thought there was a double dribble maybe in there, but yeah, just maybe, and that's, his first game of the season. You can't simulate this type of defense in practice. Just is never the same. So with Minster, their break, though, the turnover, they get a red ball.
To the basket, Sparks right before the halftime buzzer. Morgan Sparks comes up with a steal, converts it to 2 points. That makes it 30 for the Wildcats. Our first National Bank scores. We go to the halftime, 30-12 in favor of the Wildcats. Jeff will total up the numbers. We'll come back with our stats in the second half when we return on NKTelco Sports.
We are here and here and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
We're at halftime here at Minster Gymnasium as the home Wildcats lead 30-12 on our first National Bank scoreboard. With our first half numbers, Mr. Jeff Henshin.
Well, thank you, Dave. It took a while for the Cats to get rolling about midway through the first quarters we've talked about, and they turned it on. They got a bucket by Anna Larger, I think in transition, a two-pointer, and then after that, I know that Katie McClurg hit a three, and then everyone got into the action. Number of girls scored, but we'll go through the team stats first. In the first half for Wapak, they finished half just 2 of 15 from the field. Only got 15 shots off, making 2 of them. They were 0 for 3 of that number from beyond the arc, and they were 5 of 8 from the free throw line, so got their points from the charity stripe, hitting 5 of 8. Minster 11 of 27 from the field. Not a great percentage, but got a number of offensive rebounds and began to capitalize on them to help their possessions, if you will, be constructive. 11 of 27 from the field. That included three-point shooting, 3 of 6. Just 4 of 11 from the foul line. Dave, you talked last year, didn't have stats, didn't think the free throw shooting was very good, or not maybe as high as you like it. 4 of 11 isn't going to get it done, but right now they're getting by with a 4 of 11. Turnovers a big stat here. Wapak with 18 first half turnovers. Minster at 11. They were very frivolous there for a while as well, but held it down a little bit, but forced Wapak into 18 turnovers. Rebounding, Wildcats 17 rebounds. The Redskins with 15. Wildcats of those 17 rebounds, about half of them were offensive rebounds, and again, they began to capitalize and start putting the ball in the basket. Leading scorers for the Wildcats in the first half, Katie McClurg 6, Morgan Sparks 2, Lily Barhorse 9, Anna Larger 5, Lindy Hemmelgarn 3, Kayla Lamb 2, Kennedy Corti 4 for their total of 30, and for Wapak, Elizabeth Good 2 for 5 points. and Kira Seifring with 2. Riley Zagowski with 2. And I will get you the other score. I'm off a bit, but we'll pick up that. But just not a lot of Redskin offense. We're going to cut down on turnovers and try to get some shots to drop.
Minster has the ball first to start the second half. They will start with the same starters they have. Inskeep underneath will kick it out to Albers. Tried to pass it underneath, loses the ball, so turnover gives it to the Redskins. Redskins will check through their lineup.
Well, she almost could get called for a double dribble out there the way she held on to it in that slower dribble, but able to.
At least one change there. Hannah Pry, number 21 in the game. Nice move to the basket, but not able to fall there by Quarter. Rebound Wildcats.
Coach Alberts talked about one of the keys of the game, finishing on offense. There was a nice move by Reagan Quarter, but just couldn't make the bucket at the end, but it made a nice dribble move and went through a couple of defenders and got a quality shot.
Another turnover against Minster to start.
2 possessions, Dave, 2 turnovers for the Wildcats.
Wapak ball. It'll be good. Quarter. We also have number 5, Zelakowski, 21 Prine, the new starter, and also 15 Kiera Seifring. Starters, the first-year head coach Marcy Alberts. There's Quarter, has to kick it out to Good. And there's a steal by Alberts and stolen back by Good. So tip for tat. And Bass stolen by McClurg, as Good did not see her from coming from behind.
Actually, I think it was more of a block shot.
And there's pass from Sparks to Barhorse for the basket.
Well, after 2 turnovers and 2 possessions, they capitalized on the block shot, I think, because it looked like
I agree.
Elizabeth Good was blocked, and then in transition, able to capitalize and now push the lead up to 20. And again, the defense up here, it's very easy to see the double teams coming, and boy, if you could just freeze it and move these people like stick figures, you could see the passing lanes are there. But when you're on the same level, it's tough to see that.
And I think the fans and announcers forget that at times. It's like, while they pass is like, well, you got to see through people, where fans are a little bit elevated. They think, oh, you can pass it. I know when my sons played, I would mention that sometimes. It's like, Dad, it's hard to, you can't see sometimes. It's like,
no one's in our face pressuring us, breathing in our face or touching us with their hands. I mean, it's pretty easy to see it. But the good teams not only, the good teams do see it when you get the good rhythm and confidence and help your teammate with the basketball get open.
Morgan Sparks comes up with a steal, pushes it ahead, quick to Barhorse, loses the handle out of bounds.
Just like a receiver in football, she knew she was open and kind of took her eye off the ball and thought about scoring before she caught it and couldn't save it in the end. The fourth Minster turnover here in the first 2+ minutes.
Ball's kicked out of bounds by Minster, as there's some good sportsmanship as they help Good to her feet. In the game will be Madison Springer, also Lindy Hemmelgarn.
Springer was an original starter. You mentioned she didn't start the half, but she does have 3 fouls. Could be a reason why they wanted to maybe shield her a little bit. Now, Good has come out a few times. This time might be because of the tumble she took, but she's been out a few times. Not very long for the Redskins, but definitely a workhorse and trying to catch her breath now.
Casey Albers also playing with 3 fouls. Number 10 there on Springer. Quarter guarded by Sparks. Help defense by Barhorse. Now it's Seifring. Good fundamental man-to-man, and there's a nice steal, but loses the handle. Up ahead and in to Springer.
Well, break for the Redskins. A near turnover or a quick turnover goes right back in their hands, and Springer able to get a quality shot to drop.
Hemmelgarn misses the wide open shot. Drive to the hoop there by Zelakowski. She draws a foul, will shoot 2. Second foul on Katie McClurg. There's definitely some talent on this Wapak team. You see how Quarter and Good dribble the ball, and This would be a team to watch. If you'd see them later in the season.
Yeah, it would be interesting. Now they see the type of defense that certain teams can play. It won't always be like Minster's defense on them, but then you can see though if they can have a little bit of room and spacing, and if you give them a chance, I think they could really make things
and
difficult.
A new coaching staff takes a little more as well. At the same time, the coaching staff doesn't know the other teams as well. It's like I'm sure they knew Minster play good defense and so on, but it's one thing to hear about, it's another thing to.
And how do you mimic it?
Yeah.
You've had 6 weeks to prepare for it. I mean, you have scrimmages and such, but still, how do you demonstrate this feeling and give those girls the opportunity to witness it?
Coach Riss will take a full timeout. We'll step aside as you're watching girls basketball on NKTelco Sports.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Coming out of the precision strip timeout called by Minster. They lead by 17 in the ball.
Yeah, the coach was just not happy. They've had a lot of turnovers here to start the third quarter. And they did just 2 points. I think he wants to get his team to refocus as Wapak's get a little bit of offensive rhythm, a couple buckets.
Albers with the follow. Another try there. Hemmelgarn tipped it up there. And Hemmelgarn will draw a foul from behind. That'll be Lindy's second foul.
Minster had about 3 shots down there. I know the first one was by Hemmelgarn, and that was missed, and a couple of putbacks in the paint.
Albers missed it.
Okay.
And then and I think Hemmelgarn tried to tip it in.
Okay.
I don't know who shot the first one. I don't remember.
It was Hemmelgarn.
Okay.
3-pointer.
She followed her shot, so.
Want to make sure my stats are official.
Oh, yeah, they're always official. All the papers in the
jump ball. Change this quarter.
Okay. I learned something today, so I'll be paying attention to that all year. Underneath, there, good position there by Madison Springer.
Like Barhorse did in the first half, she used her body to create space and able to get an opening and cash in with back-to-back buckets now for Springer here in the third quarter for 4 points. And a 15-point lead as the Redskins have outscored Minster here 5-2 to start the half.
32-17. So they pass it down to Barhorst.
Whoa, the travel. 5 Minster turnovers.
Minster had 30 at halftime, so they'd gone 4 minutes and only scored 2 points. In the first 4 minutes, they only scored 1 point.
Correct.
So.
They've started each half, if you will, poorly offensively. It took them, they went 4+ minutes in the first quarter, scored 1 point. We've gone 4+ minutes here in the third quarter, like you said, and just 2 points. So they have struggled to get started. But in the first half, luckily for the Wildcats, when they did get started, they went on a big flurry, got some lot of offense. Their defense became even tighter and opened up the lead at half, 30-12.
Seifring comes up with the ball. The pass from Good, and there'll be a reach-in foul.
Morgan Sparks, reaching in is not the foul, but the contact on the arm was a foul, which ultimately resulted her from going after the ball. It was in her kind of wheelhouse, and tough break for Sparks. That's her second foul.
Kayla Lamb in the game. Also the time before, Kennedy Cordy in as well. Good, not able to finish.
Wasn't. Kind of a tight window to get the pass, and they got it in. It would have been a big bucket for the Redskins, but they miss it.
Hemmelgarn open for the three. Lindy Hemmelgarn step back behind the three-point arc and drains it.
Her second made triple of the game. Now 6 points and a big basket after Wapak missed a high percentage shot on this end. Hemmelgarn opens up or hits a three-pointer for the Wildcats in transition.
Foul there. So definitely some bench scoring. We referred to last year, they didn't get a lot of bench scoring. Last year, Minster had nobody that averaged a point off the bench. Now, the only exception is Anna Larger averaged about 2.5, but she only played like 6 games. So other than that, no other bench player scored 1 point. And it's always good to have somebody come off the bench and give a little spark, score 5 or 6 points on a game.
First half for Minster, they had 14 bench points.
Yeah, so maybe this year they don't have that. They're not going to have a player that's going to score 20. They're probably not going to have anybody whose average is 15. So they're going to need a little more balance all the way around. And
yeah, I think coaches always like to have more than one weapon. And if, the players understand, hey, focus on me and my teammate's going to burn you this night, and they focus on that girl, someone else has got to step up, because if you're double teamed and you're the key offensive threat, if you will, for the other team's defense, it's going to be tough to produce, unless you're just an absolute superstar, but other teammates have to come up and make plays.
It's a steal. And it goes back to steal by Wapak, and there's a foul.
Hemmelgarn, her second foul.
And going along that point, I always think it's good when you get somebody coming in off the bench and you get some offense. Yes. Get somebody to a different spark. All of a sudden now the defense has to worry about, hey, somebody's coming off the bench and can hit a couple shots.
Usually you think a bench player isn't court ain't good, but these games, especially the way Minster plays, you can only start 5 players, but if you're going to play full court, you need bodies that are fresh, and you don't want to suffer when you take people off. You try to balance it out, and some of those players rather just come off the bench and be that spark.
Yeah, there's sometimes there's through the years, I'm sure you've seen it, there's a player that's their skill level, you'd think they'd be a starter, but for some reason they play better off the bench, and that's what they do. And so, usually almost every team plays 7 or 8 in their rotation. There's not that much difference between the 7th guy and the 5th guy.
Not usually.
Not usually. And
even in college, the game's longer, the floor's bigger.
Yep.
You got to go 7, 8, 9 deep, to have any chance of being good at your team level as far as wins, because that college game, it's like I said, longer court, more minutes. So you need to be more than 5 deep to be really successful. And the same in high school. Maybe 7 deep would get you, a really good record. And but usually, as you got those other players that can contribute and come in with confidence that you can be a threat, it definitely helps.
McClure will go to the line and shoot too. Yeah, usually most teams have a post player to come in off the bench. You have a guard to come on. Sometimes you have a wing player to come in. That's usually people's like, oh, they should play 12. Well, it's really hard. If you play, there's a balance there. If you play too many, it's hard to keep that chemistry going.
Yeah, it's a mix, and foul trouble is something you can't control. Volleyball, you can't come out of the game for hitting the ball out of bounds. Basketball, you can get a couple of cheap fouls, and you've got to come out of the game. Boy, there's a nice break for Katie McClurg. Misses 2 free throws, but scrappy offensive rebound, sticks it right back up and in for points. But you can never control your best player. They might just get a couple freak fouls and be forced to come out of the game. Or actually disqualified eventually if you foul out.
Right. That's any other sport. You don't have I guess in football somebody could be injured.
True, but you can't be
baseball, you can't be taken out because of so many fouls. So
volleyball, you can hit the ball all you want or hit it out of bounds as many times as you want, but you're always in the game.
Elizabeth Good will be shooting foul shots. Is
17
already
fouls.
Minster's had a lot of fouls today. Misses it. Able to get her own rebound and put it in.
Did we just see that on the other end? Where the free throw shooter, Hemmelgarn, missed her free throw, got the offensive rebound and scored. Good missed her free throw, got the offensive rebound and scored.
Sparks 3.
Hit the leather strapper, though.
Yep. Hit the high off there, so Wapak with another chance. Is definitely an improved, definitely their best quarter so far.
Yeah, 7 points, and they forced Minster into a handful, 6 turnovers, more than a handful, I guess, a handful plus 1 turnover. So the defense has gotten better. They've only turned the ball over 2 times, so they've done a much better job getting opportunities. So, if you can't shoot, you're not going to score.
Good double team, in some trouble. And they will call a jump ball.
Let's watch Frilling. There it goes. Oh, we have a foul first. I think it's going to be overruled.
We're going to overrule with the foul. So keep the coin in the same pocket.
Yep, no switch on the coin, but more free throws for Wapak and Good, who missed her last attempt, but then got the offensive rebound for 2 points back at the free throw line.
I think you see with both these teams what you see a lot of times early in season, you see a lot of uneven play throughout the game. You might have a great quarter like Minster had, and then you don't. Yeah. It's hard to get that consistent from the beginning to the end until you get a couple weeks into this and you get some couple games under your belt. You see what rotation you want. You see what plays work, what works and what doesn't work. And it's a process, and that's why you play 22 games during the regular season. Good, misses the second one. Lamb with the board. Pass all the way ahead to Larger. Down to Cordy. Kennedy will draw the foul.
Good will pick up her third foul. She's her leading scorer right now with 8 points. So Coach Alberts with a minute 15 will let her leading scorer stay on the court. And just the fourth foul of the half for the Wildcats. For the Redskins against the Wildcats.
Cordy will give it up to Larger. Coming up on a minute to go, and she travels.
7 Minster turnovers here in the third quarter. They've been very giving. It's not quite Christmas season yet, but they've had 5 and then 6 and now 7. So in succession, 5 in the first, 6 in the second, 7
it's not the way you want to go. I'm sure Coach doesn't like it that way. And early in the season, good. Nice dribbling. Trying to step back. Good defense by McClurg.
Nice cut.
Quarter to the basket, and I think she might have stepped on a foot or stepped wrong. I don't think she turned an ankle, so hopefully she can walk it off and stay in this game. Always the danger in basketball, having in volleyball, but basketball, you turn an ankle, and Coach Alberts will call a 30-second timeout to give quarter a break. So on this precision strip timeout, to let you know, NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays. Tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Replay times are this Friday, November 25th at 12 o'clock, Saturday, November 26th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. The thing I want to bring up here, Jeff, is talked about Coach Wiss. He's kind enough to give us some insight and is asking about the thoughts in the season. He talked about his non-league schedule, which is unbelievable. About a couple years ago, I know they beefed it up. Their non-league, they play 6 schools that all made it to regional last year, and they went 1-5 against these teams. Fort Laramie, Russia, who they play tomorrow here, Liberty Benton, who's Liberty Benton, OG, Anna, Arcanum. They also play Tri-Village, who I think is ranked number 1 in the state. They're real high. His quarter hit that one. Also, some of the perennial powerhouses, St. Mary's, play Collide every year. They play Audubon every year. And Wapak's a good team as well. And a very tough schedule on top of the MAC schedule will definitely make them ready when tournament season comes along.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a tough grind as Quarter makes both free throws. She comes out. She originally told the coach she was fine. She doesn't look like she's fine now. There's a grimace on the face, and those streaks.
Maybe she knocked the knee or something like that.
I think it was her. I'm not for sure. She's going to hopefully walk this one off, but she's out right now, get some attention from her staff or the team, and did make both her free throws. She now is in the books for 2, and back to a 15-point Minster Wildcat lead.
Pass to Cordy underneath. She's double team. Barhorst tries to find Brooke Clooney, who just checked in lineup number 4.
8 turnovers.
Coach Wiss now up to, I believe, 10 players to get into the game. Good, tough angle and in.
Well, we talked about she, I think, can be very, very dangerous if you don't double team her. That's what's kind of held her down, but given the opportunity, she can score.
3-pointer by Clooney is short to go to the fourth quarter on our First National Bank scoreboard. Minster 37, Wapakoneta 24 here on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital. with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Coming out of the quarter break, Minster, their lead goes from 18 to 13, but they're still pretty well in control, leading 37-24.
Yeah, Minster gets outscored 7-12 in that quarter by the Redskins, who played much better. The Redskins of Wapak 5 of 9 from the field, and they also were 4 of 7 from the free throw line, so they took advantage of their opportunities. Only 2 turnovers committed by the Redskins. That was key. You look at Minster, 8 turnovers in the quarter. They were 3 of 9 from the field and 0 of 2 from the free throw line, so the Redskin defense forced Minster to become uncomfortable in that entire quarter. They never really got it started. And still, though, what was an 18-point lead has been dwindled down now to, 13? Is my math right, Dave? Yes.
Yep.
So, 5-point swing there on a 12-7 advantage. Minster's going to have to, play 8 minutes here or get a strong start here. Don't let the Redskins get a lot of confidence and kind of walk themselves back into this ball game. But some time to do it for the Redskins if they can get some offensive opportunities and shots to drop.
Clooney to the hoop, draws the foul.
Nice move. Clooney did a little head fake, did a hop, and then kind of went at an angle and drew contact. Has a chance now to score from the foul line.
5'6" junior Brooke Clooney played a lot of point guard last year on the JV team. Finding her in a position for some playing time as she hits the first free throw.
8 Wildcat players have now put points in the book. For Clooney, her first.
In and out on the second one. Barhorse, the rebound, another try, and Lily is fouled.
Good job by Barhorse. Definitely one of the taller players, but she reached straight up, so it wasn't, quote, over the back. That's not the foul. It's when there's contact, but Barhorse, hands straight up by her head, twice got the rebound and then is fouled in her second attempt.
It's the first foul shot of Springer, 45, and good to see Reagan Quarter back in the game, number 33. She's able to walk off the injury or whatever she had earlier.
Barhorse now 4 of 8 from the line, make it 4 of 9.
15-point lead for the Wildcats.
Take possession here for the Redskins. If they want to make this a little, quote, more interesting, a basket would help their momentum and their confidence and feed into that Wildcat lead, but they can't wait around too much.
Shot off the mark there by Schnipple. McClure pushes it ahead to Clooney. It goes out of bounds off of quarter. It will stay with the white.
Minster had a nice job defensively down here, forcing Snibble into a tough shot. And I believe it was number 30, Kennedy Cordy. A nice rebound, secured it, got it going out for her team. Didn't give the Redskins another opportunity and kind of squelched that, first opportunity for the Redskins to get points here in the fourth quarter.
Kennedy Cordy with some nice points off the bench.
Yeah, 5.
The post.
Or, I'm sorry, 4. A couple field goals to bucket in each quarter, the first and the second.
Lamb now.
14 points, I think we mentioned now. 15 with Brooke Clooney hitting the free throws, so 15 quote points off the bench unofficially.
3-pointer in and out there by Clooney. Rebound by McClure goes into the backcourt, so that will be over and back. Minster will play Russia tomorrow night. That will be broadcast by our colleagues Greg Burning and
at Russia.
No, it'll be here.
Oh, here. Okay.
Minster starts out with 4 home games. Then they travel to Marion and Fort Laramie is how they start their schedule.
Like you said, their schedule is tough no matter where. There aren't many. Everything's going to be a battle, or a lot of their 22 games. They're going to have a lot of games that got to come ready to play.
But Greg and Brandon Coverman will be covering that. That should be a good game. Russia, very good team. I think it's the second year under Coach Paul Bremagen.
Yes.
So they had a good year last year, made regional last year. Probably a lot of those players coming back. Nice rebound there by Quarter and puts it in. Reagan Quarter, she's a player as well.
Yeah, she had a quiet first half, didn't score, but got her free throws in the third quarter, and a follow-up offensive rebound opportunity for a bucket there. 4 points for Reagan Quarter, 5'10 senior. Her and Good seem to be the playmakers, and they're both guards. They can handle the ball, which helps. There might be the 5th foul against Springer. No, she's not happy.
She's putting on her forearm there. It's like I just touched her a little bit. So 5th foul is Madison Springer will leave. It's Casey Albers and Addie Inskeep will come in to replace McClurg and Cordy.
Well, again, big free throws. 13-point game here. I keep thinking, it's going to take a lot for the Redskins to make this more challenging, but more, I shouldn't say exciting, just cut in this lead. But if they're going to do it, they got to get started with Barhorse. That's a big free throw hitting
Not
out.
out of the realm of possibility. Like Minster had that flurry there in the first quarter. Of course, that was a lot of defense as Barhorse able to make 2 there. She brings up her foul shooting percentage a little higher.
Well, her 14 points match her jersey number.
Good is caused by trouble by Brooke Clooney. Forces a timeout by Wapakoneta. There'll be a full timeout. We'll be right back on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Kemmler Orthopedic Center is focused on a personalized, caring approach to treat all aspects of orthopedics, including total joint replacement, shoulder reconstruction, stem cell injections, and more. Dr. James Kemmler and Jed Cooney, certified PA, are dedicated to providing the best orthopedic care in the Grand Lake region. Kemmler Orthopedic Center has offices located in Salina and Van Wert, along with extended evening hours. To schedule an appointment, call our office at 419-586-5760.
Coming out of this precision strip timeout, Wapak with the ball, down by 15. So give it to Quarter. It's been Good and Quarter.
Well, she's open.
There's a double team.
Yep, couldn't get Good was open, but the ball was too far away, and they couldn't get her. She was open, but the ball wasn't positioned to enter to her.
That's the thing I was going to point out. Is like, you got to have somebody open when somebody's ready to pass it. It's a lot of timing that people don't realize in basketball. It's when you're coming off a screen. There's inbound to Good and 1. Elizabeth Good now up to 12 points.
Yeah, she's been very nice. 5 in the first half, 5 in the third quarter, and now her first bucket here and a chance to complete the, quote, old-fashioned three-point play, but nice ball player.
Yeah. Short as Wapak, of course, as Albers comes up with a foul. Of course, Wapak will play in the WBL, always a good conference as well in high school sports.
Good, though, is her 4th foul, so 5 minutes to play, and that was a foul, it was a quote, a dumb foul. I mean, it was obviously she was frustrated, tried to reach in, get the rebound. It's an easy foul call. And with 3, you got to be very careful that, you don't pick up your 4th now when you're somewhat the head of the snake. And it maybe isn't a bad thing if you didn't have fouls ready, because you put Minster on the line, who have struggled in the first half, and they miss it. So maybe it'll work out for Wapak. They force a missed free throw.
Casey Albers misses. She has yet to score, but she's had a lot of foul trouble. Averaged almost 9 last year. And there is a double teamed, and we will have a jump ball.
Now, there you go. Now let's watch. Right hand. Jump ball here. We'll see once there it goes. Left hand.
Right hand.
There it is. Yep, it's right. Somewhere in there it's a magician trick. Something went from the right pocket to left pocket, and that's
Yeah, that's alternate possession. We'll check his pockets for the next one. So
yeah, that's how some officials. I've seen others do it just to help keep.
Well, really, it's up to them. Really, it's not the. You have the scorers table, and there'll be a timeout by Coach Bliss. It'll be a full timeout. You step aside. Another timeout sponsored by Precision Strip. You're watching high school basketball on NKTelco Sports.
We are here and here and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Another timeout sponsored by our friends at Precision Strip with 4:39 to go. Minster with a 13-point lead.
13 is close, I believe, Dave, that Wapak's been in a while. I mean, they've been at 13 off and on. I think it was 13 to start the quarter. But stop here and a bucket for the Redskins can draw them the closest they've been in a while. But Barhorse has different plans.
Barhorse cleans it up with an offensive board on the errant shot. She's now up to 16.
That makes it a 15-point game, so unless the Redskins get a three, the best they can do is get back to the 13 where they've been a few times.
Scrappy defense. There's a steal by Albers, 2-on-1 to McClurg and one. Or no foul there. You talked about Katie McClurg, and you mentioned the name Scrappy. She is scrappy. She was guarding good before she was a good player, and there's the double team.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then, again,
there you go, Scrappy McClurg causes a jump ball, and it's not just her. This whole team is definitely scrappy as we see the coin change from the right pocket to the left pocket on the alternate possession to Wapak. So is it go by left? Is that left side of the scoreboard, right side? I'm curious.
I'll have to ask him. I've talked to him over the years, and yeah.
He's getting his name mentioned a lot more tonight than probably all the other times he has. There's a nice block by Barhorst on Good, who now she comes up limping. I don't think it's anything serious, but
cramp, I think.
Cramp on her.
And she's been out a couple of times. I mentioned in the first half, she would come out and, be walking here, grab her water bottle, just a lot of movement. And I don't know for sure, but we've seen that expression quite often here. That definitely looks like cramp here for her in the second half.
You don't see that in basketball like you see in football early in the year. That's a nice pass underneath. A good job by Amber Snipple to make space and score.
Yeah, it's a good point. Made space and then got herself into a high-quality angle to get a quality shot in her first bucket of the game for Snipple.
Lead back to 15 with 3:12 to go. Quarter. Double team again. Almost a steal. And there is a steal and a block, a smother by Addie Inskeep. Up ahead to McClurg off the glass for the basket. Katie McClurg will quietly go into double digits.
Yeah, she's been consistent. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, and now 4 in the fourth. Just kind of, and then plus the defense. The defense is, you mentioned her, really been stellar and not letting the good ball handlers take advantage of it.
There's 10 there. Great defense by Morgan Sparks, who's really plays that position of that quick defensive guard that you've seen for years in Minster. They always have that guard that is just a defender like that. And she does a good job there forcing a good player into a 10-second call.
Yeah, they've had a lot of good players that as a youngster you can say, I want to be like her, I want to be like her, I want to be like her. And some big shoes to fill with some of those names. And those are quality athletes and good role models to set yourself after. But if you can perform like that, you're going to be a quality player, really help the Wildcats.
There'll be a foul on Lydia Mesher on the rebound, and Morgan Sparks will probably not score. There'll be very few games she scores in double figures, but that doesn't mean she's not as important as anybody else who scores that. It's her defense and just ball handling and so on.
Yeah, a lot of times you only see the box scores. We talk about that where, who had how many points? How many points did they have? Oh, you only had 2. You didn't play very well. Well, no,
yeah.
They don't see. There's a hard stat to show what headaches that person caused on defense.
The points is an easy stat to look at.
It's black and white. It's a number. People can judge it. We all judge things, but you can't. If you don't know the game, you don't really understand the other aspects of it. And there's more to it than, quote, just scoring.
Hannah Prine
lane violation.
Misses both.
Yeah. Shooters can't cross the line until it hits the rim. I saw right away. Both officials even looked at it and said, yep.
Where everybody else can go into the lane at the release.
Correct.
Wasn't always that way. It's changed through the years.
Yep.
It used to be
you could move to hit the rim.
Yeah. Now it's been that way for
a number of years.
Yeah.
The NBA is different, so before you start wondering why those guys are coming in from the top of the key, that's different in the NBA. There's a whole set of rules in that league. But high school and college, it's on the release. The lane players can move. The shooter can't. And even the people behind the three-point arc can't cross the three-point line until it hits the rim.
I see a lot more high school games in the NBA, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yep, I am too. These girls, in this case, don't get paid to do this. And
Sparks 3 is off the mark. But, you always see we're pretty blessed what we cover on NKTelco Sports between the MAC and the Shelby County League. It's just
it's
good.
Fun. We're spoiled.
We're good sports. And then in Sydney, we pick up the Yellow Jackets, who should have a pretty good year.
But girls,
I talked to one of the assistants earlier. They have a lot of injuries right now. They have some girls ACL. And they have a lot of the same girls. I can't give you the names off the top. I know Lexi Brewer is one of them, and he's hoping if they can get Ron Ivey, if they can get everybody back and healthy by the middle of January. Then they have a lot of talent as a team. As you did a lot of their games last year. You and I think, did a district game of theirs or a tournament game, and they have a lot of talent going there, and hopefully they can stay healthy.
Yeah, they've been young for a while. So all those girls, they started a couple of freshmen last year, I know, and did very well. And they were fun to watch. And you got to do their games. You become very familiar with them. And you almost feel like you're part of the team to help to bring them to.
They're better. Their best player is signed to go to Findlay.
Yeah, and I'm drawing a name too. I know Lexi Brewer and Stockton.
Allie Stockton she's going to play at Findlay next year. She's
Brewer's
the senior.
The one that got hurt last year.
Yeah.
And then they have
it was anyhow.
You caught me off guard.
But anyhow, they a lot of talent there in Sydney. Just to follow on the MAC, the Shelby County League. Don't want to forget our teams in Sydney as well as a good quality high school sports as well.
Good with 13 points. Make it 14.
She has had a nice game, especially as the game has gone on. Brooke Clooney, Minster in the game number 5, Chloe 10. And there's a 3-ball by Lindy Hemmelgarn. Is quietly up to 9.
Well, she has 3 3-pointers on the night. She's, I think, 3 of 5 unofficially from that range. And
also number drive to the basket, finger roll by Elizabeth Good.
17 in the game now for Good. Again, those are nice moves and tough to defend.
Brooke Clooney with a 3. Also, another mention, number 11, Kendall Bergman in the game as well as Chloe Thien I mentioned earlier. So Minster's going to go 1-0. Wasn't always the prettiest game, as Good will rim that one in and out, followed by Zelikowski,
yes.
Minster will go to 1-0 with a big, tough game tomorrow against Russia. Not a thing of beauty, but you'll take a 53-34 win anytime.
Again, black and white, you look like you did pretty well. In between the buzzers, there's some work to be done, but, you'll take it.
Good drives. Kendall Bergman comes up with it, trying to get it to Mesher, and will travel before she's able to pass it ahead. So So a lot of players getting some floor time after. Always want to get some floor time after practicing, about a month.
True, yeah, and some scrimmages in
Scrimmages, of course,
but also
yeah.
with the turnaround, these girls we play in, in less than 24 hours, just limit the minutes that you got to pound and go at it, and again, reward those other ones that get it, that put the work in as well.
Good, we'll launch a three. And that our final score on the First National Bank scoreboard, the Wildcats 53. The Wapakoneta Redskins 34. I'll keep it right here as Jeff will total up our numbers. Just like I mentioned, our sponsors again, Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, New Knoxville Supply, Pratt Industries, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Borchers Forest Center, and NKTelco. Again, Minster wins 53-34. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank, Think First. Starting line sponsored by Emerson Climate Technologies. All the timeouts sponsored by Precision Strip. Jeff and I will pick a player of the game shortly, sponsored by NKTelco. Our Minster Live View sponsors Borchers Forest Center. Some of our other sponsors, Burke Petroleum, Chiltex, Seish Freedom Incorporated, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Park National Bank, Secure Column, and St. Henry Bank. Our replay times on this game, if you watched it live during the streaming, the replay times are Friday, November 25th at 12 p.m. and also Saturday, November 26th at 6 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and nktelco.com/sports. You'll see our full schedule on the nktelco/sports website. Again, Minster goes to 1-0. It's a 53-34 win over Wapakoneta. Wapak Forest to 0-1. We will have the game streamed tomorrow. Minster against Russia. Again, all our home games at Minster, boys and girls, are streamed on Key Motion here at NKTelco Sports. As the JV game was won as well by Minster, they won easily on that. Let me pull up the numbers on that one. Minster won that game 47-4, so they get a clean sweep, winning the varsity game as well, 53-34. Some of the individual scoring I'll mention as Jeff totals up the numbers. Minster led by Lily Ballhorse with 16 points, Katie McClurg with 12, Lindy Hemmelgarn with 9, 5 points by Anna Larger, 4 by Kennedy Cordy, 2 by Kayla Lamb, 2 by Morgan Sparks, also 4 by Brooke Clooney. So 8 different players scored by the Wildcats.
And for the Wapak Redskins, Elizabeth Good, nice night for her, 16 points. We mentioned her name. She's a quality ball player, handles the ball, does a lot for the team. She finished with 6. Her running mate, Reagan Quarter, with 4. All those in the second half, somewhat the leading scores for them. Zelikowski also chipped in with 5 to lead the Redskins. Our team stats look like this, Dave. Field goal shooting for Wapak, 10 of 35 in the game. They were 0 of 9 included in that, 0 of 7 in that 35 attempts, 0 of 7 from three-point range. Minster finishes 19 of 47. Of those 47 attempts, there were 6 of 16 from three-point range. So better shooting for the Wildcats and hit some triples that help expand that lead. Free throw shooting, Wapak 11 of 20. Minster just 8 of 20. Rebounding margin about even. Turnovers about even, surprisingly. Wapak, I have them down just for 5 second-half turnovers. Did a much better job, did the Redskins. 5 second-half turnovers. They finished the game, though, with 23. Minster, 22, unofficially right behind him. So Minster, if anything, got to take care of the basketball. Got away with it tonight. Rebounding margin. Minster had 33 rebounds. Just under half of those were offensive, right around 15 offensive rebounds of the 33. And for Wapak, 26 rebounds for the Wapak Redskins. But pretty much just domination by enough positive offense for the Wildcats, strong defense. help them frustrate that Minster, the Wapak offense to the Minster defense.
Yeah, Minster probably will have a walkthrough tomorrow morning. They play a rare Saturday night game. They play Saturday night, Friday night, and Saturday night when the boys don't start yet. So they will play they will play in Rushi. So we'll find out a lot more about that
as we go up. It's neat to see the girls. It's a Friday night. I kind of like that idea. Give them a chance. I don't know. I always think they have a tough schedule during the year with the Thursday night games in school on Friday. It's like, why not give them a chance to play on some Fridays? Now you've got the, the weekend. Of course, you got a game tomorrow, but I think it helps bring people out here. Okay, our player of the game, we got to toss up a couple players here. Minster had a lot of quality effort tonight. Barhorse with 16 points, also Katie McClurg with 12. But we talked a little bit during the telecast. Scoring's one thing, it's black and white, but there's some things, and I know you mentioned her name quite often. That was on the defensive end. Katie McClurg, number 3, it was just kind of frustrating. She had her hands full of very good point guards, and Elizabeth Good and Quarter, was just scrappy. I like what you called it. She shot pretty well, did it a lot for her team, ends up with 12 points, consistent scoring throughout. I'm going to go ahead and give her our player of the game for the 5'4" sophomore. Congratulations to Katie McClurg, our NKTelco player of the game.
Congratulations to Katie. Congratulations to the Wildcats. I'd like to thank you all for watching. For my partner, Jeff Henson, I'm Dave Kanapke. Thanks for watching on NKTelco Sports.